Alright my friends, what are we doing right now? Okay, what we have here is a large plywood board, Midwest Hobbies, and I've got the stencil for our 777-9X and 8X. I take the stencil and I place it down on the plywood board, and I get my outline that I'm going to cut with the Dremel rotary cutter. This is a Dremel 8220, the 82220 right here, and I have the carbon fiber composite rotary bit, and I can just freehand cut this. I don't need to, I have tons of band saws and rotary saws, but for this it's simple enough. I can just hand saw it and cut it straight out, and actually save time over using a rotary saw or a band saw. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did. I go ahead and get the stencil for our 777-9X engine pylon, and I just place it down on the plywood like so, and I take a pen and I just go ahead and trace out with the stencil the actual plywood engine pylon, EDF pylon. This is what the 5-inch EDF will rest on, or will be mounted to. There'll be two of these sandwiched together for the right and left EDF pylon. And there we are. There we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that out. And here are our two 5-inch EDFs for our Emirates 777-9X. These are 12-blade ChangeSun 120mm 5052 kV 500 kV motors right here, 12 bladers. These are reliable, and even on a 6-cell 6S 22 volt setup, these will put out, even on a 6-cell, these can put out up to 14 pounds of thrust alone, just with a 6-cell. You can go to an 8 or 10-cell setup and get even higher thrust into the 17 and 18 pound range with that kind of power. But what I love about these is they're relatively lightweight, they're inexpensive, and they're reliable. They've been bench tested, they're proven. I love them. They're really good, reliable 5-inch EDFs. And I mean, you could spend $1,500 and get roughly the same performance, or you can spend a couple $100 and get really reliable, you know, good EDFs. And plus the buyer, the customer for this Emirates bird, basically is in agreement and wants these. So that's what you got, and that's what these are going to be mounted to. These are going to be mounted to these pylons. So let's stop talking and let me start freehand cutting this this pylon out of here. Put my dust mask on. A lot of you think that you need to use exotic tools and exotic techniques to build RC airplanes. You really don't. The reason I'm going to use this tool right now is because it's straightforward and simple. And you too can build a 13 foot long 777-9X at home the same way I'm doing. And you're only limited by your own work ethic and your own skill level and how much work you want to put into something. Start cutting. Okay, after some dremeling, I've got our two pylons, right and left side, but it's going to be 2 pylons per side. The EDF will sit in between the two, and each one will be reinforced with carbon fiber rods. So I take a sanding block and I do some sanding of it. Sand the edges that need to be straightened. So let me show you how this works. So you got, let's say this is the right side EDF. All right. The 2 pieces go together, and the EDF itself fits in between the 2 pieces. The tab fits in between the 2 parts, like so. Let's just get this vise. That's how it works. And then there'll be carbon fiber rods running the whole length in between the 2. There'll be carbon fiber rods. So this EDF weighs about, this unit, around 2 pounds, maybe a little over 2 pounds. And that's how it's going to hang off the wing, like that. See? The mounting tab, here's the wing, so the wing will be here. It's so big I can barely even fit it into the frame. Here, let me show you how big. This is so insane how big this is. Here's my customer's GB Racer. Look how big this is next to it. Look at that. The whole EDF to the back of the pylon is longer than the entire airplane. Look at that. Isn't that nuts? And there you are, guys. Our 5-inch ChangeSun EDF and our twin plywood 777-9X engine pylon. This is what's going to mount the EDF to the wing. Inside will be carbon fiber rods. Very straightforward plywood, and you can feel the weight, so there's going to be a lot of force right here where the actual pylon meets the wing. So there's going to have to be a lot of strength because there's a lot of force pulling down. So there's got to be a lot of structure in here connecting this portion to the wing, and there have to be carbon fiber rods inside here to make sure that not only the thrust pulling forward, but, you know, lateral thrust, lateral shaking, so the carbon fiber rods inside will strengthen that. So this is how you make your plywood engine pylons. You can do it by hand, and it's really simple, and that's what the 5-inch EDFs for our Emirates 777-9X are going to sit on. This is huge. It's the biggest engine pylon I've ever made in my life. Massive. Alright guys, take care.